Hey guys, so today I'm doing kind of a more dainty mani featuring Petal Prism, which was from the Gilded Age sub box. I think is that December's box of last year? Anyway, it's this gold and like rainbow aquarelle flowers. And then I'm starting out here. This is glazed over, which when this came out, if you remember, so they released it and it sold out super fast and I loved it. And so I was super bummed that it had sold out. And then a little bit later, maybe a month or two later, they restocked it. And I was so worried that it was going to sell out that I hurried and I made there weren't any sales or deals or anything, and I bought it and made sure I had it. So, and then I've been hoarding it since. So, and now I think it's in the core, so you can get it. And there's quite a few sets that have kind of this milky look to them now, but when it first came out, I really like that kind of milky, shimmery look. I find it very pretty. So added to that to the stash. And this is one you're going to want to apply with care, I can tell already, because it's going to wrinkle really easy. And I meant to kind of show sheerness too. So yeah, because I've seen people, I would say it's not, you would definitely be able to, can you see how it picks up that teal? So you could layer this over any color that you want and it would show through and give it that milky look. It's not as sheer as like Shapeshifter or one of those, obviously, but so I'm not using very much. This is a brand new set I opened. It is not wanting to stick super good, so anyway, I'm not using a ton of it, so I'll have lots left over, so maybe I will, next time I use it, put it over something. We'll see. This is one, when I bought it, I imagined just wearing it as is, straight like that, but I think I've gotten deeper into the addiction of needing to do more art. So there, yeah, it's not, that's very unfortunate. I'll try some heat on it after and see, that got a wrinkle. So it's one that's going to be a little bit more finicky to apply. And then let's see if we've got enough left for my other side. We'll try it. So we had my friends and I, we do our monthly craft night, and Cassie was in charge for May and we did some Color Street jewelry. And I'm super excited. I want to show you guys. So I don't remember the name of this set. I looked it up, but look how cute that is on earrings. She had these hearts, so it's like a stone, and you just glue the layers down. I've never made Color Street jewelry. She forgot the things for earrings. What do we call those? The hooks. So I need to either buy some or get together with her to finish them, but I did that, and then I made a ring out of Mediterranean lavender, which is an old one. It's a glitter dip. It's like light lavender with like purpley pink glitter on it. And the rings she had were rose gold, and it looks so pretty with the, anyway, I don't have that one down here, but I'm sure you'll eventually see me wearing it in one of these videos. Turned out super cute. Oh, and then I made a watermelon ring out of, I think it was Tutti Frutti. That's an older set. And I just used the watermelon for my daughter. And I don't know what happened to it. I gave it to her, but she ran off with it. Okay, and then I'm going to do the little patch trick, since this is a glitter and and I'm just doing a solid nail. This is Social Butterfly that I'm doing here. And I've done this on a number of videos, but in case you haven't seen it, so you can lay this on the side of your nail and then lay the strip if the strip is not quite wide enough for your nail, and it will blend and you won't be able to tell the difference. So this is a good way to get all you can out of your sets, especially if you have wider nails, and those strips go super quick. So the big strips, if they go super quick for you like they do for me. A lot of my creativity stemmed from trying to figure out how to use all the pieces. Not all the pieces, but you know what I mean. Like use up all of the sets that I had and not just, you know, throw stuff away. Get that to peel up. So I have a pretty good, funny baby story for you today while we work. So a couple nights ago, my baby, he was not going to sleep. It was evening. My other kids are in bed. And so I just had him up and he was kind of playing. And I've been listening through sessions of an ADHD summit, just learning about that because my daughter has ADHD. And so I was just cruising through some of those sessions, kind of watching him play. We were in the living room, you know, just kind of waiting until he was tired and ready to go to bed again. I had all the doors shut for anything that he could get to that I didn't want him to. You know, all the bathroom doors are shut. And so he's just putting around. My husband, he goes and gets in the shower. And I'm like, hopefully he's smart enough to shut the door because otherwise my baby, he hears running water and he's got to check it out. And I was like, okay, well, he didn't end up in the bathroom with my husband because usually he'll complain. He'll be like, help me. Come. He's trying to climb in the shower, you know. I was like, okay, cool. He closed the door. Awesome. You know, and I keep, you know, doing my thing. And then he gets out of the shower and I don't know if he told me he was or I knew he was. He went to look at the windows. So we have a whole house fan, which is like it's a fan. They work super good in Utah. Not some other places may or may not, but super good in Utah. That it's a really powerful fan that you can install in your attic and then you can open a window at night and it'll suck all the air out of your house. And so it'll pull in that cool air from the window and it pulls it up into the attic and then the attic vents out and it cools your attic and then just cools off your whole house too. So here in the desert where it cools off pretty good at night, most nights, you know, we probably only run our AC 24/7, probably only 1 month. So it has to get pretty warm because we'll drop the temperature down at night with that. It's great. I love it. My husband put it in. I've always thought they were the coolest thing and wanted one. And so he put that in here and it's amazing. Anyway, so there's a window right by my head. I'm telling you guys the long version. There's a window right by my head where I sleep. And that's the window I like to open because then you get the nice cool breeze on you all night while that runs. But so it's one that has 2 panes that, you know, you can slide up or down to open. And the top pane, it slides just slightly down. So I put the window up at night, run it, and then I close the window to keep the heat out during the day. But this top part is just slightly cracked. And so to get it to close all the way, you have to like push it up and then actually lock it, which I'm just not going to do those steps every day, unlock and lock. I don't know. It's not going to happen. So I, you know, talked to my dad about, not my dad, my husband, and we just barely got these new windows a couple years ago. So I'm kind of bugged. The other windows don't do that. They stay up. So of course it's the one that I want to use. Maybe I've worn it out, but I think it's done it since then. So he goes to look at it, you know, and I'm like, oh, my baby will go be helping him with that. You know, he'll be hanging out with him, whatever. And then he comes and he's like, okay, so here's the update. Let me show you. And we go in to my bedroom and I'm like, where's our baby? And I'm like, oh no, is he in the bathroom? And I'm expecting, you know, I go running in the bathroom and I'm expecting him, you know, like most babies, splashing in the toilet. No, he is full on sitting inside the toilet, butt in there, feet are like going down to the little hole, and he's just having a blast. He's like, you guys, you finally let me get in here, because he literally will check all the time. He'll run. You can see him. He like goes and checks and makes sure we didn't close or we remember to close everything, so he can go in there. Anyway, he's just sitting in there, splashing around. Oh no, I left a gap. So sad. Anyway, just having the time of his life. And I'm like, oh my gosh, because I would have caught him way faster if I had known, but I had no idea because he just left the door open. And I'm assuming everything's shut down and he can't get to anything. Anyway, so I had my husband, I'm like, that's your problem. I had him all dressed for bed and that's your problem. You can you can change them and everything. So he showered and got him in fresh jammies. Actually, I might have dressed him, I don't know, but I don't like how that piece fit to patch it, so we're gonna patch this one. Patch with a new piece from this one. And then I caught him today. One of my kids left the bathroom door open, and I'm aware of it, right? Because I know my kids are not as responsible. Apparently my husband's not that responsible either. Anyway, I came in, I was like, he's too quiet, and he'd barely gotten in there, and he had, he got to the toilet, one of his hands was wet, and he was like in the process of climbing up on the toilet, was gonna seat himself in there again. So anyway, so we have great pictures for posterity to show his future people he dates or whatever. So, okay, so next we're gonna do, this is where we're gonna get fancy. So on the middle finger, I saw a Nelfie where they did it over kind of a white, it wasn't exactly the set, but they cut out the flowers from Petal Prism and put it over white, and I thought it was phenomenal. So we're gonna do that. Just rounding my ends, and I'm just winging it. Usually I grab another strip to be a template, but I'm just winging it today. Okay, so we're gonna try to get this one smooth and try to get it to stick. And I don't always wash my hands with Dawn soap right before doing my nails, but I did today because I couldn't quite remember if I had oils on my hands. So like, there shouldn't be oils that are keeping it from sticking. So I think it's just some sets are just more prone to be kind of on the dry side or to wrinkle, or if you've used Color Street much, you know that there are some that are just like Tokyo Lights is almost always going to be, it might get gooey a little bit, but it's glitters in general, I guess. Glitters in general are going to apply your best. Anything that's metallic-y or solids are a little more difficult to do. So yeah, see, it's not wanting to stick on the side. Hopefully the heat with my flax bag helps. So we're moving into summer season here. My daughter, who's in elementary school, finished school, and then my son, he's actually still, we're after Memorial Day now. He still has school this week, so he's got his last day today. He's in preschool, and she took an extra week of spring break because she had a daughter visiting from overseas, and so she just added an extra week after. So that's been kind of weird. I keep like looking at the calendar and be like, oh yeah, I gotta take him to school, because we're kind of in summer mode. We've been going to Lagoon tons. We've been over the Memorial Day weekend. We about lived there. Okay, so Petal Prism. I don't know if you can see it. It is sheer. I think having it over this white is gonna make it pop. I'm excited. Let's see how we want it on there. Ooh, look at that. That's so fancy. Awesome. Okay. And then, okay, so that one I pre-cut out. I left one to cut. I should have cut this one first to show you guys, but we'll cut it now. I left, yeah, just to save time, I did pre-cut out one. And then I'm actually, so there's some leaves on here, and I'm actually just going to cut out the flower portion. Oh yeah, so enjoying Lagoon. We've been to the splash pad. I'm enjoying it because I like to sleep in, and so does my baby. You know, some babies are like, I'm up at 5:30 every day. No, sometimes he'll wake up to like nurse around then, but then he'll go back to sleep, and some days it's almost like his morning nap is in with his night sleep. Although he's old enough that he should only need probably like one nap a day, but he still sleeps in. So then I sleep in and it's lovely. I like live to sleep in. I'm trying to think what else we've done. We did a barbecue with friends for Memorial Day and that was fun. Okay, I want to think about where I want to, whoops, stick this. Oh, let's put down our, whoops, I bumped you, sorry. Do I not have the other? Nope, I didn't get out my other strip of glazed over. We're just gonna take them all out. This is why I have a hard time. Obviously, it would be better if I sealed my strips before, or pull out what I want and then seal them, but then, guys, I'm not that organized. I try, but, and sometimes I need a little bit more of something. Yeah, let's put this down first before I add my flower. So I have longer nails. So a lot of you out there will be able to use this for the other side too. And then your strips really go a long way. And then work has picked up again, so I've actually been back at work. I think I bumped you again, I'm sorry. As I think I just did it again. Okay. And then I'm thinking, so this strip is double-ended and there's kind of like the little leafy portion. I'm thinking I may stick those maybe on my pinky, but I'm gonna kind of see how things look. Oh yeah, I meant to look at how I wanted this. So one thing that I don't love about Color Street, I want my hands to mirror each other. And that's really hard to do if you're doing the double-ended. So you know, this flower is gonna be a little bit upside down, but it's gonna make it look more mirrored because it doesn't matter that much, but the flower is going to be more on towards the outside of my hands, towards my pinky side. So that's my thought process behind that, and no one's going to know or care, but that's what I was thinking with that. Checking what time it is. Oh, almost 11K. So I'll probably finish this and then get lunch going. My son goes to afternoon preschool, so. Okay, this one, I could probably use the other half. No, it's gonna be tight, so let's just get out a fresh strip. My index finger, a lot of times I can use the same strip just depending on how short my nails are running. So I'm trying to remember to save some of my strips out here because I'm doing, in Stacy's Sassy Crew, I'm doing the bingo, and I like to stick the little leftover pieces on my card of Color Street, and then I'll stick that in my journal after we're all done with the bingo game. just because they're pretty, and then I can kind of remember what I did for each of them. And this is actually the first time we don't have a printer, and so I can take it and get it printed somewhere, but I'm just, you know, it's kind of a lot of effort. So up until now, I've been drawing it out, and I'm like, well, I may as well just put it in my journal, so it's like already in there. I'll show you guys when we can go. Well, yeah, where's it? This bingo game, lots of fun. So you can see when I remember. I haven't always remembered, but I put the leftovers, and they're just pretty. And like good memories. You look at it and remember what you did. Okay, let's do the thumb, and I was just gonna leave this one straight. So, and I think that'll tie in with the gold. One trick I like to use to kind of decide where to put things is, I have to show you on my fingers, so let me cut this. I feel like I need to cut a little bit more than that. You make this finger and this finger match. So these match and these match, and then this one can be whatever. And that's kind of a tried and true way. Oh man, which flower do I like better? The leafies or... Oh, probably the leafies, because if I do this side, then you'll have like the leaves coming down. I don't know. We're just gonna roll with it. This is a really pretty set. I think I wasn't like blown away in the package, but it's really pretty. And I love rainbows. I'm a sucker for rainbows. I love the Pride set. If you guys saw that, it's got rainbow French tips on one side, and then the other side is a heart, a rainbow heart. It's so cute. So it has a lot of versatility to it. I kind of wish it had been on clear. That would have been, I probably would have needed like 5 of them. But. Okay, see, that's pretty even. You can kind of compare over the white. I think the white adds, like, it pops and adds some magic, but it's really pretty over with the gold too. Okay, let's do the other one. So yeah, this summer we're kind of doing staycation type things. We have a national parks pass, which we have not used much, but we should probably get some stuff on the schedule for that. And then we have our lagoon passes, our amusement park here. So we're doing that lots. I'm trying to think. We do have a couple. We have like a family reunion in southern Utah. Later on, what else? I don't know. Oh, we're going to cabin with some friends. Their family has a cabin that's kind of like shared among all the... Oh my gosh, I keep bumping you. I'll have to not put... I'll have to think about how I have this set up because it's just like right in the way. My hand keeps catching. Maybe I move this. Maybe my trash can. There we go. That'll probably solve it or help. Anyway, so they're good friends of ours. Have kids around the same age, so that'll be fun. Hoping to do some swimming lessons for the kids. All right, now we got to decide, do we add more flowers or these little... Oh, and look, we've got this flower too. I really love that flower. Like it's similar or the same as that one. Let's see. Might be kind of big on this finger, but okay, let's add some. I probably have the other flower. Okay, but do I want the leafies? Because we could do the leaves on, oh, maybe on my pinky right there. So again, this one's pre-cut. And then I'll have to cut the other one. Put it over down kind of on my tip with my pinky. Okay, and then let's cut out this one. planted a lot of flowers in my yard. But they were out of, I always like to do cherry tomato, and I buy them from Starts. Because those just do, I've had really good luck with those, and we'll get, you know, where we're bringing in 2-3 cups of fruit like every day from 1 or 2 plants, depending on how well they do. But let's see, so no, I don't know how I make this one symmetrical. I did on the other. Anyway, the silly me, I went on Memorial Day weekend on Saturday and they were sold out of those, so I've got to find another nursery to try and get those. Okay, so if we're going to do it matching, we could just do it kind of this way. It was sticking to me and now it's, there we go, we're getting it. I was worried I was getting wrinkles, but I think we're okay. Oh, glazed over does not want to stick. Let's actually use my nippers. I love the orange stick, but sometimes it'll like perforate not exactly where you want it. So, okay, and that's not perfect, but I'll clean it up after. Okay, and then should we add this other flower? The only thing is I tossed the other one, so, oh, there it is right there. Okay. Oh, cool, it didn't even like wrinkle up too much. And I could stick this back on a white backing. It would probably be easier, but so far I think it's gone okay-ish. Yeah, no, I better put it on a white backing. Okay, white backing. It's definitely an adjustment getting used to this trash can. See, I'm used to being able to just pull whatever I want back out. Okay, there, that'll give us some stability. I mean, the kids are having a blast with it being summer too. I'm just enjoying the no pressure for things, like just taking things a little slower. Oh, that flower's a little big for this finger. Oh well. Yeah, I'm enjoying just like taking it slower, and there's a little bit more like let's play it by ear and just kind of see how things are going. And we're still doing little things to work on, you know, their reading and stuff, but it's a lot more, it's a lot lower pressure because we have all day to work on it and they can choose. There's a computer program we have that kind of teaches, or they can read with me. Sometimes they do both, but it's very just like, you know, as long as you do at least something every day to kind of work on your reading. Anyway, I'm just enjoying it. It's nice. I feel like I'm able to enjoy my kids more. I'm getting impatient with this. There we go. Okay. I think I've got a wrinkle in this one. Oh, there we go. It mostly smoothed out, I think. Okay, I think you're gonna call that good. So take a look at them here. Got a little extra stickies. That's really pretty and just like subtle but shimmery. So we'll wear it and see how I like it, but it was fun to create. And thanks for joining me while we created it. Talk to you guys later.